Oh, thank you, Ms. Yamaguchi. Good afternoon to everyone in Mexico, and good morning for participants in Japan. My name is Hiroshi Takahashi of Global Environmental Center Foundation, or GEC. We act as an implementing organization for JCM Model Project. It's my pleasure to talk about the financing program for JCM Model Project, which is one of the actions to tackle pressing or urgent issue of global warming. Now, let me talk about the outline of this project. Okay, these are topics we present you today. Let me start with the first one, that is overview and recent trend of JCM model project. These are the future of JCM model project. Budget is this, as already mentioned by Horikawa-san of Ministry of Environment Japan. I'll talk about international consortium later in this presentation. It is subsidized for equipment or facilities that contribute to emission reduction of greenhouse gases. The project is required to finish installation within 3 years, and it's better that project to start as early as possible. There are some conditions for the project, and I will refer it later. The government of Japan finances part of an investment cost for the model project. Project can be developed based on city-to-city collaboration between Japan and partner countries with support by both governments. Also, they can use various international financing schemes and JICA, Japan International Cooperation Agency, JBIC, Japan Bank for International Cooperation, World Bank, and so on. The grant of this program is for equipment or facility which has good capability or performance to reduce emission of greenhouse gas, but it's not yet popular in partner country due to being costly. Using this finance, participants are able to reduce initial cost of this valuable equipment to be competitive. And this lead to the promotion of introducing energy efficient system. These are the requirements for JCM model project. The first point, project need to reduce emission of greenhouse gas with leading low carbon or decarbonizing technologies in partner countries, and must include reduction of energy-related carbon dioxide emissions. That means, for example, solar power system that replaces part of grid power, which consumes fossil fuel in power station, can be a project. On the other hand, the project just burns methane, one of the major players of greenhouse gas, is not good to be a project at this point. Use heat from burning to generate power and replacing grid power could make eligible project. Secondly, contribute to the sustainable development in partner countries. The project need to comply with the regulation and the for the environment protection, and also that's one for to be complied with the international law and scheme for to protect the environment. So this figure shows a typical form of international consortium. Each model project composes this consortium, which consists of representative participant on Japan side and partner participant in partner country to implement project smoothly. Representative participant manages the project, and partner participant installs and maintains the equipment. Important point is that the partner participant must own and use equipment introduced by the model project. This is because equipment needs to be properly operated and maintained and work for a partner country to realize reduction of greenhouse gas emission throughout the period of issuing credit. Representative participant, Japan side, need to have enough capability to manage and complete the project. They are responsible for the project totally. So we select project organized by reliable representative participant to the project for the project to be completed as is intended. So there are some criteria to be a model project. We consider this criterion of cost effectiveness, that is finance versus amount of greenhouse gas emission reduction, important to dispatch limited budget effectively for excellent project. Well, we set this value less than 4,000 yen or about $40. This acts as a ceiling of the budget for some project. Recently, there is a lot of proposals for certain technologies in some countries. If the number of applied technologies exceed 5 in a country, this value decreased to about $30. Solar power project in Mongolia, Peru, and Philippines, and hydropower project in Indonesia are for this. And the number exceed 10. It diminishes to about $25. Solar power project in Thailand is for this. One of the important points of this scheme is to support diffusion of advanced technology and products for the partner countries. We consider these accumulated technologies had become prevailing to a certain degree. Okay, as a condition for the project is this, by this category of technology applied for each country. The maximum financing support is 50% of total cost of project. This rate goes down based on already applied number of similar technologies for each country. The first one has the greatest impact for the diffusion of technologies as it is newly introduced. Then the second and the third one. We receive proposals of new technologies every year. Recently, we could add some in transportation field, renewable energy. The number of this category has been increasing rapidly, and production equipment for energy saving in factories. So we need renew this chart for next fiscal year, adding newly proposed technology for this year. It is getting diversified every year, and this demonstrates that JCM model project could be used for a variety of fields. We improve the scheme of JCM method project every year to accept variety of field and business area. JCM Eco-Lease scheme is one of them. A newly introduced scheme in 2020, which is dedicated for leasing businesses to use this finance support conveniently. And the uniform finance support of 10% of project cost which is lower than the percentage of general project. The merit of this scheme is shorter obligation period of monitoring and simple document to apply easily for leasing businesses. Again, we improve the scheme to create more opportunities for business partners, as many or as variety as possible. Actually, in many areas, the technology of model project has been applied. This is one of it is lighting in retail store, solar power system on shopping mall, heat pump in hotel, and variety of production equipment in factories in industrial field. We have already introduced many systems for utility field, solar power system on reservoir, methane gas recovery system there in Mexico, rice husk power generation, waste to power generation, also in transportation area. As you can see with these pictures, JCM model project is effective for international promotion of infrastructure. So you have a lot of opportunity to make use of this model project to reinforce infrastructure in your country. From this slide, I will talk about the process of JCM model project. It starts from call for proposal, and we assess and select project which deserve financing and make contract of finance. Participants are able to start implementation of equipment after this contract and make effort toward finishing installation. They will get grant of finance after successfully passing our inspection. After commercial operation, they monitor the result of reduction of emission of greenhouse gas. Then the credit is issued as the outcome of the project. This is the timeline for this fiscal year. Starts from April in Japan. We have closed that call at the end of October. We received many high-quality proposals, even though under the tough situation of COVID-19. So now we are on the final process of selection, and in no time we will make the last announcement of selection for this fiscal year. Till now, we announced 22 projects, and each selected project entity goes through the administrative process for finalizing contract of finance to start their project. Okay, this list shows selected project in this season as of now, and some more projects will be added in no time. Geothermal power plant is a new technology for the model project, and blockchain technology will be used to dispatch solar power between multi-site and multi-consumers. The connection is dynamic and complicated, so this technology, blockchain, will be used to connect them flexibly and effectively. Also, this is the there is the first eco-risk scheme. The scheme initiated from this year, as I told you. They are adding more variation to the JCM model project. As you can see from this sector column, you are able to see the sector column, and 18 out of 20 projects are for renewable energy. And the percentage of this sector has become increasing, and this is one of the trends we have these couple of years. From here, I will talk about project in Mexico. This map shows all the projects supported by JCM financing program. Till now, total 177 projects have been selected, and Mexico has 6 projects in total. the best number in American continent. This is a list of the projects selected in Mexico. You have 3 renewable energy projects for photovoltaic system to energy efficiency and 1 waste handling project. There is an opportunity that you will have new proposals, especially in virgin areas. This is a project of methane gas recovery system. The power is generated by gas engine using collected methane gas from landfill. Greenhouse gas emission reduction are achieved by replacement of grid electricity and avoidance of methane gas emission from landfill site. I actually visited the site and conducted inspection about 2 years ago. It is well organized site and well managed by team in Mexico, led by MGM, Mr. Alfred, who is one of the greatest supporter for JCM from MGM. We'll introduce this in detail later in the section 3. And this is a project of 1-through boiler for tequila plant. I think that is one of your main product, I mean tequila in Mexico. And 1-through boiler is a very effective type of boiler, which has energy efficiency of about 100% rate. It is not a big type. However, multiple operation of many machines being controlled effectively and best fit for fluctuating steam demand. This technology is popular in factories in Japan and will be also in Mexico. Okay, this is another energy efficient project for the same tequila plant. This one is for production line of distillation process. A system uses steam effectively. And these 2 projects will be introduced precisely by Dr. Fernando of Beam Century later. And these 3 projects I presented here have already finished installation and started their operation to contribute to the reduction of emission reduction of greenhouse gas. From here, 3 projects of a photovoltaic system organized by Sharp. Sharp is Japan's major solar power panel manufacturer. They have good reputation for their good quality and reliable products. And they use the latest technology of product having good energy conversion rate from optical energy to electricity. They are working toward project completion. Okay. So COVID-19 imposes trying time to people in Japan, also Mexico, and around the world. JCM model projects are also affected by this pandemic. These are the points that causing influence to the project. The permission for the project tend to delay. Design, supply, construction work are also being affected. Sometimes they need to change their financial plan, schedule, and project plan. For us, face-to-face meeting is restricted, and meetings with participants and related people are also not so convenient than before. So project participants try hard to complete their project on time in this pandemic, in the era of pandemic. We support participants towards successful completion of their project, like for example, to help breaking stagnated permission to finalizing their project. And what we need to do is to foresee and make well contemplated schedule and have allowance, modify and adapt project plan flexibly to minimize delay. At the final stage of model project, we conduct inspection. We have done this remotely after the outbreak of this pandemic with online camera, photos, and web meeting discussion. I think we have done this successfully without any glitch. Any meeting and consultation for prospect entities are done online. Seminar and symposium are done by webinar like this moment to promote JCM. How is this? We could keep our activity even in this restricted environment. It is true that COVID-19 limits us. However, we keep our activity going through these alternative methods and try hard to proceed JCM, not to deter the action for the important environment. And we continue to our action to reduce the greenhouse gas emission in partner countries. One important method for the promotion of JCM is this JCM global match system. We intend to increase more projects in Mexico by this tool. So let me move on to the next theme of JCM global match. It will be presented by Ms. Aoyama. Please, Aoyama-san.